little over an hour ago when you had a couple of big announcements, but we were glad to be part of it. Scott, hope you're doing well. We're looking forward to this first ever AAA baseball season around the corner, and you guys have a lot of exciting things going on.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, a lot of announcements, and thanks for having me on. Obviously, as the broadcaster, maybe my personal favorite is ESPN 690 will be our new radio home, which I'm really, really super excited about. And I think for our fans, obviously for a lot of your listeners, you guys are sports fans, and AAA baseball, this is the highest level of the minor leagues. So we're really, among everything else, our giveaways, our promotions, our fireworks nights, FIS being our new presenting partner for the next 5 seasons. Really, May 4th brings a lot to look forward to.
Scott, you guys seem like you have momentum. You've carried it over. Ken Babby, ever since he bought the club, the name change, all that stuff. Seems like there's something different every year. Now, last year you didn't have baseball. Have you guys picked up a lot of the momentum from the absence of it last year? I mean, I know it felt so different, but do you feel like baseball's right around the corner? Do you have momentum going with the Jumbo Shrimp, with the AAA announcement, with this being an alternate site for the Marlins? It feels like even coming off a year where there was no baseball in Jacksonville, that you guys have a lot going on.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, Brent, really reflects in the community support for us. Is that we had a tough year last year with no baseball, but we still had people showing up for movie nights or bingo nights or fan batting practices on the field. There was still a way for us to, pour our heart and soul into something that maybe was a little bit different than people were used to, but obviously still made us feel relevant. And then in the fall, I honestly think that AAA announcement was really, from a staff perspective, almost what we needed as well. And the community incredibly has responded. I mean, we're going to be doing a limited distance seating model to at least start the season and then hopefully keep opening up more and more as the year goes on. But the majority of our seats are actually sold out for our dugout reserve section for all of our ticket packages. So, I mean, I think that's a reflection of the support that we have, and I think it's also a reflection of the excitement of coming back, and then the excitement of coming back now as a AAA team, which wouldn't have happened. You were talking in the previous segment about how Jacksonville is growing. I mean, that's a huge part of it, as well as we just, have always had that support from people ever since Ken really arrived. And it wasn't a broken model by any stretch of the imagination at all before that, but I think he made his tweaks, and the community has responded in kind, and we've been really, really lucky for that. So, the AAA announcement is just a little bit of that extra juice. The alternate site has been really great, too, because you actually see baseball players here on the field, which is neat. And, we just can't wait to open up the gates on May 4th.
Scott, obviously you mentioned it. There wasn't baseball last year for the Shrimp, and although that the people came out in the community that supported, like, what is your biggest takeaway that you took from that year off? I guess what did you guys work on a little bit? What are the kind of some of the scenes, like the scenes behind the scenes, I guess I would say, and what can we expect this year from the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think for us it was almost a challenge. Is that, hey, when we come back, we're going to have to be better than ever. And so I think last year was a really big idea year for us. And what can we do differently? What can we do better? Obviously, what kind of promotions that we're known for can we bring about for the upcoming season? And, I think that's the biggest thing that people hang their hat on here. We can't control the baseball. Obviously, it helps when it's AAA, and we're going to be really getting some great players because the Marlins organization is so highly rated, and they've got really an extraordinary amount of top 100 prospects. But we can control those promotions, and so those bobbleheads like a Stone Garrett bobble from his Sports Center top play from 2019. There's a George Costanza bobblehead from his scene where he's eating a bunch of shrimp in the office. There's a whole bunch of other classics like Thirsty Thursdays and Military Appreciation Nights, and I think those we had to keep going because they're so popular, as well as the dog days that we have sprinkled throughout the calendar. But I think that big challenge for us is, as a staff, what kind of other ideas can we bring that make, A, going to the ballpark such a fun experience, that B, in the midst of a pandemic, make people feel safe, while also affording them the opportunity for a really good value to go out and make memories. And that was what last year was really all about. So that's why we experimented with so many different things like bingo. Who would have thought we'd ever have bingo nights here? And they ended up being some of our most popular stuff. So it was a tough year. It was really challenging, to say the least. But, I think if we had to do it again, we probably would do a lot of the same stuff because I think we found out a lot about each other as a staff. And I think, some of the stuff that we're going to bring out beginning on May 4th will really be reflected in kind of the ideas and the summits we had together as a staff during a year without baseball.
Love the creativity the minor league brings, teams bring, but also the personnel, like people like Scott Kornberg with the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. You'll hear the voice a bunch right here on ESPN 690 on the dial. More than 90 games over the airwaves on ESPN 690. All the games on ESPN690.com. Scott Kornberg calls a bunch of the games, of course, well, all of them. And we're looking forward to listening to the Jumbo Shrimp right here on ESPN 690, and we love the brand of the Jumbo Shrimp, and well, we kind of are a little biased about our brand, ESPN and Action Sports Jax, so we look forward to maybe combining some creativity in both departments when it comes to that. Tell us a little bit more, Scott, about this alternate site. This is kind of this new thing, and Jacksonville's an alternate site for the Marlins. What does it mean? You're going to have players playing ball there. You're going to have players trying to develop their skills, but there's really not a lot of fan interaction between the alternate site guys and fans, right?
That's correct. So I apologize to all your listeners for having to hear my voice, first of all, for the games this year. But the alternate site, it's a great question because obviously it's a fairly new thing in baseball. So last year when there was no minor league baseball season, to give at least some players a way of developing, what the major leagues did was create these alternate training sites to allow, I think it was about 50 different players. It could be non-roster invites. They could be older guys. They could be young prospects, the chance to still get instruction in kind of a controlled environment. And those were at all of the spring training sites. So for the Marlins, that was in Jupiter, Florida. And this year, they delayed our season to May 4th, I believe about a month ago. And it was really for a great reason. They just want the players to get vaccinated, so it's not really anything for alarm or concern. And what they did was, for spring training this year, they only had the major leagues and the AAA players report on time. And then so whoever didn't make the opening day roster for the Marlins or whatever your favorite major league team was, they sent these players to a, quote, alternate training site. And it's almost like an extended spring training. So what we have right now, the guys that we have, as well as the coaching staff, is pretty much going to be the Jumbo Shrimp on May 4th. Obviously, there's some guys who get promoted, like Daniel Castano went up to Miami the other day, and Nick Neidert a few days before that. But it's just a way to give each major league club a safe haven almost for players to train, if necessary, be promoted while they await the start of the minor league season on May 4th. And pretty much the guys we have here are the ones that we're going to have on May 4th. As for the fans, we're obviously hopeful that maybe we can open up an exhibition game. They're actually playing in Dunedin and in Port Charlotte this week, so they're not actually around against the alternate sites for the Rays and Blue Jays. But, we're hopeful when those two clubs return the trip that maybe we could do something and open it up. A lot of it is dependent on when those vaccines are taken and that 2-week incubation period for the players. They're obviously trying to make sure that they're safe and ready to go so we don't have a flare-up during the minor league season and have to move games to the end of the calendar or whatever they're going to do if that situation were to arise. But hopefully with the vaccinations for the players, that won't be a concern, and we'll be able to have fans in here on May 4th for sure, and we'll see about the alternate training site in advance of then.
All righty, Scott Kornberg from the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Hey, man, thanks for the explanation of that. We're fired up for it just around the corner. Going to listen to Jumbo Shrimp games right here on ESPN 690. We love taking our show on the road, which means we'll be over there at the baseball grounds quite a bit, I would think, with Action Sports Jax from 3 to 6, maybe leading right into some of the games. And if you ever need a bathroom break, Austin and I just jump in, for a little play-by-play for an inning. I have no idea what Austin's call would be, but we'll work on it between now and then. Yeah.
Well, we'll keep that in mind. Sometimes I get hungry or whatever during the game. So you know what? If I need to get a hot dog or something, you guys can come in and I'm down. That sounds great. Just have those calls in advance so we can kind of prep our audience because they'll be really worried about what happened to our terrible broadcaster with these two aces around here all of a sudden.
You better believe it.
Yeah. Well, you might want to vet us out.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for having me on it. I'm really looking forward to our partnership and being on ESPN 690. It's going to be really just tremendous, I think, not just for us, hopefully for you guys, but also for the fans in Jacksonville with AAA baseball. I can't see anything better than being on a sports station like yourselves and everything you guys are doing on there. We're really, really just jazzed up as a staff.
We are too, Scott. Appreciate it, man. Tell everybody hello over there. Congratulations on a big news conference today, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks again, guys.